ICRT, FM 100, Taipei, Taichung, and Kaohsiung. Your news, Taiwan and the world.
Good afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Nancy Sun with the top of the hour news. In Taiwan news, Kaohsiung is mobilizing thousands of workers to fight the spread of dengue. Following recent floods, there is the potential that the disease sees a surge in new cases, as standing water can serve as a breeding site for the mosquitoes. To prevent that from happening, the city government has dispatched 5,000 workers for cleanup efforts in the wake of the floods. They've also sent 20,000 bottles of disinfectant to local residents so they can clean up their own homes. 63 places have also been fined after mosquito larvae was discovered on their premises. Taiwan is going to be hit by new tariffs from the U.S. Taiwan has failed to obtain an exclusion from a U.S. list of countries that will see increased tariffs on their steel and aluminum exports to America. U.S. President Donald Trump signed proclamations allowing relief from quotas on steel from South Korea, Brazil, and Argentina, and on aluminum from Argentina as well. Taiwan was not included in either of those lists. Citing national security concerns, Trump levied tariffs of 25% on steel imports and 10% on aluminum imports at the end of May. Taiwan is the 9th largest source of steel imports to the U.S. MOFA is still hoping to secure visa-free treatment from Thailand. Foreign Ministry officials say they are close to paying close attention to the Thailand Representative Office's visa applications procedures after the office reversed a decision to increase application fees by 470 NT. MOFA says it cannot predict what the Thai government's next moves will be on this issue, but the ministry will continue its efforts to secure more convenient travel privileges for Taiwan nationals. The end goal is to secure visa waivers for local travelers to Thailand. In international news, India's central bank has said that almost all of the notes banned during a crackdown on illegal cash in 2016 have come back into the banking system, raising questions about how successful the government was in cracking down on black money hoarders. Our India correspondent Neha Punya reports.
The Reserve Bank of India's annual report has found that 99.3% of the money withdrawn from circulation in 2016 has been returned to banks, indicating either there was less black money in the system than expected or that schemes to launder money were more successful than thought. The opposition has asked the Indian Prime Minister to apologize to the nation for misleading the country. They accuse Prime Minister Modi of being responsible for the economy losing 1.5% of its GDP in terms of growth. Experts say the only upside of demonetization seems to be that money stashed at homes was injected into the formal banking system. Neha Punya, New Delhi.
And more than a dozen human rights groups are urging Google not to offer censored internet search in China, amid reports it is planning to again provide the service in the giant market. A joint letter calls on CEO Sundar Pichai to explain what Google is doing to safeguard users from the Chinese government's censorship and surveillance. It describes the company's secretive plan to build a search engine that would comply with Chinese censorship as representing an alarming capitulation by Google on human rights. Google has responded by saying they are not close to launching such a search product in China. Google had previously complied with censorship controls starting in 2006 as it sought to enter the booming Chinese economy, but it exited the Chinese search market in 2010 under unrelenting pressure from human rights groups and some shareholders. And now back here in Taiwan and looking at the weather across the island this afternoon, we can expect cloudy skies with occasional showers or thunderstorms over all regions. A heavy rain warning is in effect for northern Taiwan as well as Hualien County. Current temperatures now, Taipei 26, Taichung 29, Kaohsiung 25, and Hualien 27. That was the ICRT News at 4 with me, Nancy Sun.
以上 ICRT 整点新闻是由华南金控独家赞助，秉持初衷。
Okay, it is working. Yes, it is working. Okay, good. Yay! Welcome everybody to the ICRT Web News Hour. We finally have it working, and it did not freeze at the beginning. Leslie was the whiz behind figuring out how that worked. Hi, Sam Wu. Hi, Li Junyu. And Liao Anting. Good afternoon. Hi, everybody, and hello, Ling Huo Wang and Su Zhiwen. And I think. Why are people laughing? Okay, I think Leslie will be joining us as soon as he figures out his phone. But otherwise, this is the ICRT Web News Hour, where after the 4 p.m. news every Tuesday and Thursday, you guys come and hang out with me in the studio and with Leslie too. And then we talk about some of the biggest stories happening in Taiwan and also in international news. Hi, Owen Chen. Hi, guys. Okay, so let's get started for today. The first story we have. We'll start with the Taiwan stories. This one kind of, it's been a long time coming, but oh wait, Leslie's coming. Oh, there he is. Hi. It's been a long time coming, but basically it's been confirmed that U.S. tariffs are going to hit Taiwan. Chen, something Hong. Leslie says, love your program. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chen Yanhong.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so basically we know that Taiwan is going to get hit by U.S. tariffs. This has been something that's been in the works, and originally I think Taiwan officials were hoping that we would be on a list of countries that are exempt from these tariffs. But basically what this means is when Taiwan exports certain products or certain things that will be put into products, those things will be taxed more heavily in the U.S., which means you generally end up with a more expensive end product, which makes your product less competitive on the U.S. market.
Yeah.
Hi.
So, hello. So basically what happens is this tax is going to increase the price of Taiwanese steel exports in the United States. So it used to be maybe that American steel was maybe $5 and Taiwanese steel is maybe $3. And so what America does is they'll tax the Taiwanese steel to make it $6, and then American steel will still be $5. So people will want to buy $5 steel more than $6 steel.
Yeah, and the steel industry in the U.S. is kind of an important industry because it's something that governments have been trying to prop up for many past administrations, not just during the current one. And it's actually one of the campaign issues that current President Donald Trump has highlighted as he was running for president. He said that he would get tough on U.S. trade partners who are cheating the U.S. out of, proper, fair business practices. And so I think a lot of those comments were possibly directed towards China, and it is part of, the bigger, trade war or escalating trade war between China and the U.S. But in this case, and in many other cases too, Taiwan is directly affected.
Well, that's interesting to me because I thought this whole trade war thing was directed at China to begin with, and there was this whole sovereignty issue again, like is Taiwan going to get roped into the definition of China that gets hit with all these tariffs? That's initially what I thought, but apparently not really, because I see here there's also there were impending tariffs on South Korea, Brazil, Argentina.
But Trump has signed a proclamation saying that they will be exempt. Or they will be partially exempt from some of these tariffs. So that means that they won't have to pay as much, or their products will not be taxed as heavily. Actually, Taiwan is actually surprisingly high on the list of steel countries or regions, whatever, that support that send steel products to the U.S. I think it's 9th overall or 10th overall. I can't remember.
9th overall.
9th overall, and China is actually 11th. So Taiwan actually
Taiwan imports more steel to America
US
than
China. So that is also an interesting fact. What was and then according to the International Trade Organization, 3/4 of U.S. steel imports come from only 8 countries, although overall in total they import steel from 100 countries around the world. But overall, mostly 3/4 from 8. And these 8, the biggest one is Canada. Canada, Brazil, South Korea, Mexico, Russia, and also Turkey, Japan, and Taiwan. There you go. So a lot of the countries that President Trump has announced relief from these tariffs for are some of the big ones: South Korea, Brazil, and Argentina.
Well, Irene, hello, Irene. K. Red
Hi,
Horton.
Maylin.
Hello, May's good listener. Hi, May.
Okay.
Dennis, hello. Yeah, so I don't know. Did they have any reason for Taiwan not getting exempt, or what's
They did
the
not
deal?
no, they didn't specify why Taiwan was included. The whole reasoning behind this, according to President Trump, is that it's a matter of national security. I'm trying to say that,
I can sort of see that. Do you not?
You know what? It's not, we cannot speculate on what this administration intends, but that is the reason that he has given.
Anything else that Taiwan's looking out for on these tariff lists? I know steel's one, but what about, aren't electronics going to be hit?
Yeah, that's the issue. Like if we're talking about straight up steel imports, then Taiwan's ninth, but these imports will impact China as well. And a lot of products that China sends to the U.S. that are part of these tariffs, that are included in these tariffs, are partially manufactured or assembled or produced in Taiwan. So even though it's directed at China, it will still indirectly affect Taiwan. And a lot of economists are saying what ends up happening is the manufacturers will either find cheaper alternatives, and these alternatives may be of a lower quality material, or they will pass the cost on to customers, or they will reduce production. They will produce less, or they'll lay off their workers. So,
well, China's already been affected by a few of the imports, right? Because if not many, companies have gone under or gone bankrupt because of these tariffs, right? It's safe to say that steel could be affected in the very same way. Like you said, the quality might be less good, or
they'll have to find some way to cut cost cuts. You know what I mean? Yeah, they'll have to find some way to make it cheaper for them to produce it, or else somebody will have to cover the cost, and it could be the consumers. It could be everyday consumers.
Usually that's how it works. Usually it doesn't affect. So it doesn't affect the Chinese producers. They're not paying more money for anything.
Right.
The only people paying more money are the consumers.
Right.
But at this and the businesses that buy the foreign steel.
Right.
But what happens is how it affects Chinese companies or any foreign company at all is that they're forced to cut down production, and by sheer volume and revenue, they get strangled out. Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens from this latest round.
Yes.
Hi, Julianne Chu and Dennis. Hi. Okay, and then moving on to the Taiwan story, or the international story. This is also a story that's been ongoing. Google, there's been a lot of stories about what Google is doing. It seems like the company hopes to get back into the China market after leaving it a while ago, and basically
Kevin, sorry.
Hi,
no,
Kevin. Okay. Hi, Kevin. Okay, and basically what they're saying is a lot of human rights organizations like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Reporters Without Borders, they sent this open letter to Google, and they're saying that they're calling on Google to be more transparent, and they've heard reports and rumors and that Google is hoping to make some kind of search engine product that would be used in China, and it would automatically block sites that would be blocked by China's Great Firewall, which is like, a firewall that blocks out sites that contains undesirable material.
Well, China's internet is heavily policed as it is.
And a lot of Google products like Gmail and YouTube are not allowed in China, so there's alternatives.
Yeah, not just that, but like Facebook you can't get in China, Line you can't get in China.
Okay, I've heard that you can, and
VPNs.
Ooh.
That's called 跳墙. So that basically means you tell China that you're not, or that you tell the local internet servers that you're not actually accessing from within China. Like it'll bounce your signal off of Scandinavia or something. Yeah, but you theoretically can get it.
Yeah.
But actually, there was a study done recently, I think at Harvard, where they gave like 200 Chinese students access to China's censored internet, and they give them access to the free internet.
Yeah.
And what they found was that 80% of the students didn't find a difference between the two, because they're so used to using censored internet that they don't even bother with free internet.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess if that's all that you have access to, you don't know what else is out there.
Yes.
Although I would also say that a lot of human rights groups in China and people who are advocating for freedom of the press and freedom of communication, they're arguing for, no censorship.
Well, think about it. Yeah,
Censorship.
think about it this way, right? Like China censored Winnie the Pooh. Remember, we talked about that.
For very interesting reasons.
They censored Winnie the Pooh because because someone made like a joke about how Winnie the Pooh looked like Xi Jinping or the other way around.
There was a meme, and it was when Barack Obama and Xi Jinping. I think Barack Obama visited China, and then he was walking next to Xi Jinping, and the photo looks like. The photo looks like a picture of Winnie the Pooh walking next to Tigger.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was meant to be, like making fun of Xi Jinping. Who knows? But it was not taken lightly. And so now a lot of references to Winnie the Pooh are not allowed. And even the recent Disney movie, what's it called?
Christopher Robin.
Yeah, Christopher Robin. That was not allowed to play in Chinese theaters.
Yes. Yeah. So Google, previously, they tried to enter the Chinese market back in 2006 by offering a version of their search engine that complied with the Chinese censors.
Right.
And what happened was by 2010 or 2011, so many human rights watchdog groups, they were unhappy with Google's decision to comply with censorship, saying that they're condoning the withholding information. And so because of that immense pressure, Google backed out, and they haven't been in China since about 2010.
Yeah, actually, when Google left China back in 2010, they made a big announcement about how, they were following their principles or company principles of transparency and supporting human rights, and it was done with a big hoo-ha, and then now, I don't, who knows, like a lot of people are questioning how they could possibly maintain neutrality and also protect their users from surveillance while being in China. Bai Yue says lost feet, like our feet?
Don't know.
Maria Hiza Agati Soliman says because Winnie the Pooh doesn't have underpants.
That's why my friend had to take off her Pooh's shirt to take it with her to China? I don't think so.
What? I don't know.
I don't know. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but what's interesting here to me is that the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, said that they are not even close to launching a search product in China.
What does that mean? That means they are looking at the options.
That means they are. I think this is what I'm saying, right? They haven't outright denied anything,
right?
So this doesn't put the pressure onto them, but it also kind of they're kind of like evading the question, right? They're like, we're not close, but we're working on it.
Yeah, there's a but. You can hear the but behind the sentence. I don't know. Okay, this is speculation though.
Yes.
And just for your interest, Google announced a couple of months ago, half a year ago, that it was opening an artificial intelligence research laboratory in Beijing.
Yes.
And it's also investing $550 million in a Chinese company that is like an online e-commerce, like similar to Alibaba, but not as large.
Yeah. Actually, I had dinner with a friend yesterday, and he was telling me. What did he tell me? He's actually moving to Beijing, and he's going to go work for Google.
Wow.
Yeah, and mostly what they're doing is software development. Yeah, that's what he was telling me, and this is mostly because Google really needs the talent to help them develop AI, and some of the best talent is in China.
Right.
So, but a lot of people don't want to uproot their lives when they're in China, and they can go to the States or go to any other Google's offices. Right. Just too much of a hassle. So what they did is they opened up a Beijing office for all these engineers to work at.
There you go.
And he's going to be one of the guys working there. And it's just solely on a software basis.
Have you spoken to him recently?
I saw him yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Julianne Chu says she was really afraid that she'd lose it. Oh, she'd lose it at customs. Oh, because it's a Winnie the Pooh shirt.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so updating on the weather.
Yes, it is so gloomy outside today. What is going on, Nancy?
As the Central Weather Bureau has forecast, the rains are starting to let up, at least in southern Taiwan. Not so much I think not so much rain in Kaohsiung and Tainan and Pingtung today. Earlier today there was some rain, I think, but generally it looks like, although a lot of areas are still flooded, it looks like at least the rain has let up. It's actually moved northward, so like even if you look outside the window at our office in Xinzhuang district,
It's raining pretty hard right now.
It's raining pretty hard. It's like all dark outside and you can't really see much.
Yeah.
So the north of Taiwan is under a heavy rain alert from the Central Weather Bureau.
Okay.
But basically in the next coming couple of days, it should clear up. There is a Typhoon Jebi, and it's
east of Guam last time we talked.
east of Guam.
What's
Thank
going
you.
on right now?
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's expected to veer towards Japan. As long as it doesn't make a sudden change of path, it looks like it will head to Japan.
Yes.
And it won't affect Taiwan weather.
Okay.
Whew.
Do we have?
Hi.
What's up?
Wu Mei Zhu. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. So
hopefully everybody's doing okay in the south. If you were hit by the flooding, we hope everything's okay, and the cleanup is underway. So.
Yeah. So today we have U.S. tariffs and China Google censorship, and that's probably going to cut it for us today.
Yeah.
We're going to end a little early, Nancy.
We will see you on Tuesday. I will be here.
Okay.
You always ask me. Tuesday next week.
Oh, Leonard Harrison from Seattle is back.
Ah.
He said whether it is or whether it's not, there's going to be weather or whether or not. Wow, he got me there.
Clever.
He got me.
I'm like, what? What does he say? What? Okay. Well, we'll mull on that as we wrap up.
Think
the
about it.
segment.
Think about it.
Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.